Esteemed greetings, Kim Kardashian. I hope and pray when this notation reaches your location, it finds you in the very best of health, both mentally and physically, as well as spiritually. As for myself, I'm great like a heavyweight with a big bowl of frosted flakes. At any rate, I have to find some humor during this draconian ordeal. Thank good God Almighty I'm a comedian, because sometimes I got to laugh to keep from crying, but this ain't one of my jokes. My criminal case is presently in Nevada Court of Appeals, awaiting a decision on a Brady violation, which refers to newly discovered evidence. In respect to my case, the Brady violation is based upon prosecutor Mark DiGiacomo withholding exculpatory evidence favorable to my case. Specifically, the state presented a star witness by the name of Antoine Mouton, whose government name is Antoine Contrail. So for the court's record, I'll refer to him as Mouton. Mouton is a paid informant who falsely testified against me under penal interest, claiming on December the 5th, 2005, I admitted that I killed two men in retaliation of a well-known Bay Area rapper by the name of Mac Dre. Therefore, based upon his false testimony, absent any real or corroborating evidence, I was essentially found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, a de facto death sentence in the state of Nevada. My attorney, Robert Z. DeMarco, was heaven sent. Mr. DeMarco worked out of his own pocket for 5 years. Mr. DeMarco did a great job in drafting my appeal brief, and with all of his skills and due diligence, could not have discovered the Brady violations of prosecutorial misconduct in withholding the exculpatory evidence. It would have to take a real act of good God Allah to bring forth what the prosecutor Mark DiGiacomo was concealing. Allah will reveal all what they conceal. Now I got it. A good brother by the name of Latif Gray came through in a real way after hearing an interview I did on a podcast called Gangster Chronicles. Let's get straight to the meat and potatoes, Kim. Latif was a prosecutor from San Francisco, California, my home city, and based upon my narrative in the interview, it was disturbing. So to any ear that can hear, it's loud and clear what's going on down here. It's totally repugnant. So it prompted Latif Gray to launch an independent investigation in my case. And what was he able to extrapolate from the prosecutor's database? A mugshot of none other, Antoine Mouton, in custody in Fulton County, Georgia, from November the 28th, 2005 through December the 7th, 2005. As such, he was incarcerated on December the 5th, rendering it impossible for Antoine Mouton to physically be in Las Vegas or anywhere else. The prosecutor Mark DiGiacomo knowingly and willingly perpetrated a fraud upon the court. He knew Mouton was in custody on December the 5th, 2005. He also knew that Antoine Mouton was a pseudonym, an alias, and that his true legal name is Antoine Contrail. As such, the subordination of perjury counts continued to surmount, and lying about his whereabouts on December the 5th, 2005, and his legal name. It took 17 years to get this information. Based upon this outrageous prosecutorial misconduct and fraud upon the court, I was finally granted an evidentiary hearing on September the 23rd, 2022. 17 years later, Antoine Mouton recanted and testified that the prosecutor influenced him to lie and essentially loaded his lips in what to say. He further testified that they surrounded him in a room, a bunch of government gangsters. Agents squeezed him. Mouton's biological father testified subsequently after Antoine Mouton, saying that his son ain't really all that bright and is easily influenced. Not only did he impeach his son after hearing Mac minister on the podcast Gangster Chronicles in respect to me not knowing Antoine Mouton, never seeing him at any time in life until he came to court. The father felt it was his fiduciary responsibility to encourage his son to tell the truth. In furtherance, he popped in on his son in a surprise visit in Las Vegas and asked him, did he lie on Mac Minister? He said his son broke down crying for 10 minutes straight. Now that's a lot of crying. 10 minutes? All that crying would have anybody dehydrated. I also recognized that was a lot of guilt and stress being released for falsely testifying against me, and that was eating him up. Kim, the state of Nevada courts have a flagrant and reckless disregard for judicial protocol with prior bad acts of impropriety. I was found guilty strictly by the testimony of a paid informant whose modus operandi is sex trafficking children. I was totally bamboozled and bullied out of due process. It's been 18 years of confinement. I've been in the Nevada Supreme Court since October the 10th, 2023. A delayed justice is an injustice. Kim, unbeknown to you, I was one of your biggest critics. Yet your hard work and relentless pursuit of justice for the wrongfully convicted cannot go without recognition. So thank you for all that you do. You're a good woman. God bless you, and I respect you. I am hopeful that you and your team will take a square look at this one. It's a plethora of egregious violations in this case. So many that this could possibly go down as the greatest injustice in American history. I guarantee you or your team ain't never seen nothing like this. Nevada Supreme Court case number 86004. Hopefully, you check it out. It's a great read. Mr. Robert Z. DeMarco gets straight to the steak and potatoes. From the start to the finish, the Brady petition is excellent. If it was a novel, it would be a bestseller. Again, Kim, I would never question your cause or intent. I'm convinced it's authentic, no gimmick. All we hear is how our democracy is in jeopardy. Well, our democracy is a mockery, and the criminal justice system is full of debauchery. And if it were not for my fortitude and pigmentation in hue, I would have been free like yesteryear. The prima facie evidence in my case is compelling and overwhelming. With that said, I close as I open with the utmost respect. Sincerely, Andre Chopper Dow, PKA, person known as Mac Minister.